Okay, so that's how we left our project. Currently, I am logged in, and as you can see, I have my item in the basket. We didn't implement the basket yet. We implement the profile. The rule here is just simple user. If I go to the product, that's my product. But currently, I cannot add any item to my basket. So we need to handle this situation. And you need to remember, if the user is not logged in, he should not see add to my basket. It doesn't make sense, right? So only when the user is logged in, we need to show him this button, which is say add to my basket. So how can we implement this one? Any idea? Of course, it need to be, as you can see, it will need to be in this component, which will be the single product here, because as you can see, those are single product. So the button need to be in the single product. But any idea how could I know that the user is logged in or not? So if I go to the products here, so my idea to make it simple, instead of go to each product and do something here. Okay, what's this hell's going on? It's declared, but it's never been used. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna delete you. I don't need you for now. Axios, we will need it, so just keep it fine. So now my idea here, I am in the product here, product S, which is the general product. So what I can do, I can check if the user is logged in or not. And if the user is logged in, I can pass it to the single product as a prop. And like that, I don't have to do it for each product. No, I am in the parent component of product, which is products, like that. And I can check before anything if the user is logged in. If the user logged in, I can just pass it as a prop to all the products because I am mapping through all the product. So I can pass it here, and then I can decide if the user is logged in, I will show him the button. If the user is not logged in, I will not show him the button. You understand my idea? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, so how could I know I am in this function? How could I know that the user is logged in or not? I can do it here in use effect. Here, how could I know that the user is logged in or not? Which is very simple, by the way. So if I inspect, voila, and I go to my application, and I go to session storage, how could I know that the user is logged in or not? Guys?
Yes, so we can check if, we have
check if
ID
we have
or
ID or
username.
not. Yeah. So we don't use a username. So what I can do here in use effect, I can just say const ID, it's equal to session storage because I save it in the session storage, dot get ID, and I'm using ID because the key here is ID. Now, if I have an ID, what should I do? Well, I need to make the user is logged in true. So what I can do here, I can just create a simple piece of state, and I can just say, for example, const is logged in, and set is logged in. So by default, the user is not logged in, but I will check if I have an ID, then if I say if ID, then I will make the user as is logged in like that. Voila. And now here I have this value, and this value, it will tell me if the user is logged in or not. So I can take this value now, and I can go to my product. As you can see, I'm looping through all my product, and here I can pass it as a prop. So I can just say, sorry for that. What happened? It looked like I click on that. So voila, I can just say is logged in, and now here I can just pass is logged in, simply like that as a prop. Now, because I pass it as a prop now, each of my component, it will receive it here, as you can see. So I have product, and so I will have is logged in. Now, is logged in, what it will be? What is the value here? So is logged in, what it will be? It will be integer, it will be what?
A Boolean.
Of course, it will be Boolean. So I will just say prop type dot bool dot is required. Is it required? Yes, it is required, because if I don't have is logged in, I don't know if I'm going to show the button or not. So now what I can do, I can just create a div here, and inside this div here now, I can create my button and say if is logged in, so it will be conditional is logged in. And if it's logged in, then what I'm going to do, well, I can create my button here. So just say button, and this button here, I can just say add to my basket, if you want to call it this way. I will check if I have any class for the button, but I should have a class for the button, of course. Class, but I don't know what's the name of the class. So let's see. A product BTN. So it's a class is BTN. So let's go to again to this product, which is single one, another class called BTN. Of course, you can add your own class. It doesn't matter really. Now here, as you can see, if I go back and click, as you can see now, I have add to basket. Of course, it's not functional. I need to now to work on the functionality, but let me show you something. If I log out, see, I don't have this button anymore. Why? Because I am rendering this button conditionally. Only when the user is logged in, I'm showing the button. And how could I know that? Well, in my product component, as you can see, I am checking if I have an ID. And if I have an ID, then I'm making set is logged in is true. And I'm passing it to all my child component here, which is a product. That should be simple. Now let's log in again. And the user should be Jack. User 1234 exclamation mark. I have my add to button. Now I need to work on the functionality here for this button, which is where is it? Where's my button? My button is in product here. So I need to work on the functionality. So when I click on the button, I want to do something. What will be the event? What is the event? Of course, on click. So I can just say here on click. And now here I can pass my function. I can name it click handler. You can name it whatever you want to. Click handler. And now what I can do, I can just create my function here. Voila. So it will be const click handler, and it will be a sync function. Why? Can anyone tell me why it will be a sync function? It needs to be a sync function. Why?
It will deal with database.
Yes, because now what I'm doing here, if the user say add to my basket, I need to now to create a new item in my database because those are items actually. So what I need to do now here, all I have to do, I can just say const. Actually, let me choose try and catch. It will be easier and better. Try and catch. If I have any error here, I'm not going to show the error. I'm going to just log the error here for now. And here, what I can do, I can just say const response is equal to await axios.post. Actually, it will be post, and post, as you know, we have. So let me click on this one. Let me open this one. Make this one smaller. Now I need to go to my backend. And here I can go to my route, and my route it will be item like that. And now here, when I'm trying to add an item, post an item, as you can see, I have verified tokens. That means I need to pass with credential true, and the route, it will be /item. So what do I need here? Well, I need first the URL. Second, I will need my data, different data. And third, I will need to pass with credential true. So this one with credential, it will be true. Fine, so what will be my URL? Well, I can grab the URL, the base URL. So it will be import.meta.env. I don't know what was the name. So I need to go here and I need to go here. And the name is Vite API URL. Let me close that. And that should be okay. So that's the base URL. Then I have slash what? Slash items, right? So it will be slash items like that. And now here I need the data. So of course I don't remember what type of data do I want. So the easiest solution, it will be just to go to my module and open my module here, which will be item. So what do I need for the item? Well, I need the title, I need description, category, price, quantity, and also I need user ID. But how can I get user ID? Any idea? Const ID, it's equal to session storage.get ID. So that's it. Okay, now let's fill in here our item. First, I need the title. Where I'm going to grab the title? Well, it will be the product.title. So title, it will be the product.title. Description, it will be the product.description. Category, same idea. And then what else? Price, it will be the same idea. Quantity, it will be, no, image I don't have. I have quantity. And quantity here, it will be, voila, it will be product. Quantity, I'm sorry. So quantity here, quantity, it will be the number of the item. I'm trying to create this item. So I'm creating the item for the first place. How much the quantity it will be? That's the first time I'm creating this item. I'm trying to click on this item to add it to my basket. If the item does not exist in my basket, it's the first time. What should I do?
Plus one.
Yeah, it will be just one here. Or maybe what I can do, actually, I can take, I'm creating, so it should be one actually, because I'm creating a new product here. And of course, here I will need user underscore ID. So new user underscore ID, it will be the ID, and that's it. This one, it will be one. Why? Because I'm trying to create a new item here, totally new item. Of course, now that will differ. I need to make a lot of changes here. Actually, it will not be as simple as you think. But for now, let's just do it this way. Okay, I have all my stuff here, and now here I need to add my item. Actually, before that, I have a little bit problem here. I'm trying to add it, yes, but I cannot add it. We have a problem here. Can anyone tell me what's the problem? So I'm trying to add a product here to my basket, but I don't know if the item already exists on my basket, because if it exists on my basket, I should just increment the quantity by 1. If it does not exist in my basket, then I need to create it. Is the idea clear? So let's say I want to add this one, which is Samsung Galaxy S23. But what if Samsung Galaxy S23 already exists on the user item? If it exists, I should not create a new one. I should just update the quantity by 1. But if it does not exist, then I should create a new one. You get the idea?
Yeah.
So how could will be the solution here? Any idea? What will be the solution? Well, what I can do here, I can simply grab all the user item, and then I can loop through them and check if this item, the item here, each item, it's the same as the product.title. If they have the same title and if they have the same description, then if they have the same title and description and price, that means the item exists. And if the item exists, then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to update the item. I'm not going to create it. If it does not exist, then I'm going to create the item. Is the idea clear, what I'm trying to do? So first, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get all the item which belong to this user. I have the ID, user ID. I will get all the item belong to this user. Then what I'm going to see, I will check if in the user item I have product.title, this product.title, the same, a product.description and product.price. If any item exists with the same data, that means the item already exists. So all I'm going to do here, I'm going to increment the item by 1. But if it does not exist, then I'm going to create a new item. Should be simple, so I can just say const. Let's name it item. Because I will have different response, so I will name it item res. It's equal to await axios not dot best but dot get. I don't know what is the URL now, but I need to pass the URL and also import Vita. Yes, but I'm not sure that's correct. It should be actually import item.id. I think item/user like that. I'm gonna check it now, but I think that's how it is. Something like that. So what I'm going to do here, if I click on that, and let's go to the item route again. Not in module, but in this one. So if I want to get all the item belong to one user, as you can see, what should I do? I should send it to items/user, and I pass the user ID. And here I need to make with credential true. With credential true. With credential, it must be true. Voila. So I'm trying to grab or get all the items which belong to this user. Okay, that's nice. And here, what I'm going to do here, I will have different option here. So what I'm going to the beginning, I will just say if res dot, it's not res, it's item res. If item res dot status, it's 200. That means I'm getting the user items. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to log the item for now. So we go step by step. So let's try to do it now. Let me check here if I have any problem. Should be fixed. No problem. Let's refresh. Let's go to our console here. Now what I need to do, or what I'm going to do here, if I click on this one, it should log me all the items belong to this user. So click, and as you can see here, it show me. And so I'm grabbing the item here, that item 1, that's item 2. I'm grabbing all the items which would belong to this user. As you can see, I have 4 items here. Why? Because the quantity here is 3 and the quantity here is 1. So indeed, I have 4 items, which is nice. So I am grabbing all the items belong to this user. Now, now what I need to do, I need to loop through those and check if the title, or the title here, where is the title? If the title, description, and price, if they are the same as the item I am clicking on, that means the item exists. I just need to update this quantity. If it does not exist, I need to create a new item. So let's go here. And now I have my data. Remember, my data is an array. So somehow now I need to loop through them. So how can I loop through them? So I can just say const items, it's equal to res.data. Now I need to loop through them. I'll try to find it if it's find it or not. I can just say const item exists. It's equal to item.find. And as you know, find is higher order method. So I will try to find any item like that. And here it will be item where, this is my condition here. Let me remove this one. Actually, I don't need it. I can just copy those and put it here. It's fine. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm going through item data. I'm trying to find, of course, it will give me for each one, it will be an item. So if the item dot title, it will be equal to the product. It will be equal to the product dot title. I have a specific ID. No, they will not be the same. So I'm checking here if the title is the same, and what else? The price is the same, and what else? Category is the same. So item dot category, it's equal to item dot category. So I'm checking all these 3. I'm checking if the title is the same, the price is the same, the category is the same. If they are the same, that means this item is already created. So I've checked the price, I've checked the description, I've checked the title. Is there anything else I need to check? No, that's what I need to check. The quantity, I don't care about the quantity. I just care about the price, description, and title. Well, now we will see whenever
You
we
don't
click
have
on,
description. You have only title, price, and category.
So let's add description. Item dot description. It should be product dot description, and that should be fine. And here, I think I'll need to add, because I have multiple conditions, maybe it will be a good idea to add them inside this one. Let's see if that will do the job. And now here, what I'm going to do here, I'm just gonna log item exists. So if the item exists, it will just log me. It return here. Dot find, either it will return me the element here, or it return me actually null. So let's see if that exists or not. Let's go here, and now let's search for an item which is already exists. So I think Samsung Galaxy, I did have it. So if I click on this one, see, it return me Samsung Galaxy. So it returns me the item. Because it returns the item, that means it finds it. That means the item exists. But if I try to click on something I know does not exist, so Apple Watch does not. If I click on that, see, it gave me undefined. Why? Because that means undefined. That means because this item does not exist on the basket. But if I click on iPhone, see, it return me an item. Voila, because it find it. Because it's just comparing the price, the description, the title, and the category, and find they are exactly the same, and it's just telling me this item already exists. So now we will have 2 options. If the item exists, I will have an object. If item does not exist, I will have undefined. Is undefined truthy or falsy?
Falsy.
Is that falsy? So what I can do here now, I can just say if item. So if it's truthy, if item exists, so what do I need to do here? Well, what I need to do here now, I need to update the count. So I need to change the count. How can I change the count? So this count here with the quantity, I need to change it. But how can I do that? How can I change the quantity? Any idea how can I change the quantity? I have item exist. How can I change the quantity? The quantity is just, this is an object. Inside it, I have a quantity. How can I increase it? Well, I can just say item exists dot quantity plus 1. Yes, no? This is my object. So it's quite simple, actually. Let's refresh. Add this one. I'm not logging it anymore. So when I log it, I have an object, which will be this object if the item exists. So what I can do, I can just go inside the quantity and increase it. So now if the item exists, should I create a new one or I should update it only?
Update.
Okay, I'm just going to update it. So in order to update it, what can I do? I can just say update response res, which will be equal to await axios dot put. And now here to update an item, as you know, I'm trying to update a specific item, so I need to pass the URL, which will be import meta v API URL items / and that's here item exist dot underscore ID, because I need the ID here of the item to update. And now here I will need the new data actually. So what will be my new data with credential true? So what will be the new data? What will be the new data? It will be the same, but I'm going to change only one thing. What will be the thing I'm going to change?
Quantity.
Well, so quantity, it will be equal to item exist dot quantity plus 1. I'm just incrementing it by 1, as you can see. I will not pass other data. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, but for item exist, we don't need state, right? So like item exist, set item exist equal to false, and then we increase it depending of how many items in our basket. So do we need state for item exist or not?
Do we need what? State? No.
State.
No. So what I'm doing here, I have item exist. I will take whatever the value, if it's 1 or 2 or 10, I don't know. I will take the value. I will just add 1 to it, then I reassign it to this one. So now I am passing only one data. That means only the quantity will be updated. Okay. Only the quantity will be updated like that. Or maybe I can just even make it simple. How? I can just say item exist, like item exist dot quantity, see, plus 1. So as you can see here, what I'm doing here, I'm just incrementing it by 1. And now instead of passing all these 1, what I can pass? I can just pass item exist. Voila. It will be the same idea. So here I'm just incrementing the quantity by 1, then I'm passing the new data, which will be all of them. They will be the same as the old data, except the quantity here. It will be different. So okay, that should be fine now. I am passing my URL. I am passing the updated item exist. Notice I've updated the quantity with credential true. And now here, what I can do here, I can just say if, what will you name it? Update res, right? Update res dot status. If it's 200, what we're going to do is just for now log our stuff. Let's just log item is being updated for now. So let's try to pick an item. We already know that it exists in the user basket. Which one item was existing in the user basket? It was Samsung Galaxy 23, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yes.
This one was exist. So if I click on this one, see, item is being updated, which is great. So everything is working now. But here, if I try to do something else, notice Apple Watch, I don't have it. If I click on it, I will have nothing. Why? Because the item is not being updated. The item, I don't have it here. So rest status here is not 200. But in reality, I don't need to do that. So after when I update the item here, I don't see any change here. What should I do? So I don't see any change in my basket. But if I refresh, I will see the change. So what should I do here when my update item is being updated? What should I do?
Refresh.
Yes, I need to reload the page. Windows.location.reload. Voila. And now here, if I go here, notice if I update now, the number, see, numbers change, become 5 because I added. Now here, if I click on the basket, see, it becomes 6. And now it's being updated. Each time I add an item to my basket, which but need to be exist. So this item also exists in the user. So if I click on it now, it becomes 7. If I try it with any other item, it will not work because still I'm not handling this situation. I'm only handling the situation if the item exists here. But we will see now if the item does not exist, what we do. But currently, we are not doing anything. So if I try to add this one, notice the number is 7. If I try to click on this one, nothing will happen because I'm not handling this situation yet. I just handle the situation where my item already exists. And now we will come to the second situation. What if the item does not exist? What should I do? Else. What should I do if the item does not exist? The item does not exist in the basket. What should I do? I should
Add to basket.
I should create it. So here I have my items here. If the item exists, that's okay. I'm gonna update the count. But if item does not exist, I need to create it. How can I create an item? Well, it's simple. I just need to do create item. So I can just say here, const create res, because I'm creating an item. It will be post, of course, as you know. Now I need to pass the URL. I need to pass, yeah, that will be okay actually. I need to pass the new data. I will check the new data. And also I need to pass with credential true. Why do I need to pass with credential true? Why do I need to pass with credential true? Because if I go back to my route item, who can create the item here? So post here, I am adding verify token. So verify token here, you need to be verified. That's the reason why I say with credential true. Okay, now here, add item, the URL is correct. Now I need to know what do I need in the item. So just so I don't forget anything, I'm gonna click on that so I know what the item I want. So now here, what do I need to do here? Well, I need to add title. From where I will grab the title? From where I will grab the title? From where I will grab the title? From where I will grab the title, guys?
Product?
Yes, it's a product or from the product. So title, it will be just a product.title. Also, description, same. Category, same. And here price, it will be the same. And what else? Quantity, how much it will be the quantity? How much the quantity?
1.
1, because I'm just creating it. And here I need a user underscore ID, which will be my ID here, as you can see. Why is that my ID? So what's going on here? What we are doing here? Well, it's quite simple what we are doing here. So just here, I'm not checking it, but so what's happening here? When I click on add to basket, what do I'm doing here? Well, I'm grabbing all the user item. I'm somehow if the status 200, I'm mapping through all of them, and I check if these item with title, description, price, and category, they match the product ID, title, not ID, title, description, price, and category. If this match, that means the item already exists in my basket. And here I have two options. If it exists, it will return me an object. And here I'm handling if it exists. So if it exists, what I need to do? Well, I need to update it simply. I need to update it. So I need to update the quantity by 1. I need to increase the quantity by 1, and I need to update it. If it does not exist, though, I need to create it. Voila, I'm creating it. But where is the title, description, category, price, and quantity? All of them coming from the product. Because actually, the item is being created from the product. So the title, it will come from the product. The description, the price, everything comes from product. The one thing is here, the quantity, because I'm creating as the first time, the quantity, it will be 1. And now what I can do here, when I'm trying to create an item, what will be the status? If create, what will be the status? Create, when I'm trying to create something?
200?
No, I'm creating.
201?
Yes. So if the status 201, because when we create any item, the status should be 2. If 201, that means I want to reload the page. Unlike that, everything should be good. What the hell is going on with this catch? Did I miss anything? Yes, I think I did not add closing tag. Voila. So now if we go here and refresh, notice what will happen. If I try to add an item which is already exists in my basket, which is here, I know it exists, click, now it become 8. And now here, if I try to add something does not exist, notice, which I'm quite sure that this one does not exist. And I don't notice the number is 8. Notice what will happen. Click. It's not increment actually. Why it should increment? I cannot see that. So let me just debug my code, see what's the problem here. It should increment because it should create a new item actually. It was 9, it should be now 10.
No, it was 8 and now it's 9.
Are you sure?
No, but you can try.
Okay, let's try again. Now it's 9. Let's try this one. You are right, it's 10, and it's been incremented, voila, as you can see. So now we handle this situation, which is if the user want to add any item in his basket, first we are checking if the item exists. If the item exists, we need just to update the quantity inside the item. We should not create a new object. But if the item does not exist, we need to create a new item. And that's simply how we can do it. Of course, there's many ways to do it, but that's one way to do it. Is the idea clear? Is the idea clear here? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, great. So now what do I need to do? Well, I've get rid of this. I've handled add item. Now what I really need to do, I need to create a basket. So for basket, I already have the CSS. So what I can do now, I create a new component called basket. Basket like that, dot GSX. Well, let me create a dummy component here. And in here, in this dummy component basket, I don't think I will need any of those. I don't think I'll need that. So I don't need any props, I think, but what I need to do, at least for now, I need to just import my CSS in case. So I don't forget, import dot slash basket basket.css. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to import this one into my app just to see if it's working or not. So click here, and now here I need to import my basket. So I will just say import basket. Voila. And here I need to add this new route. The new route here, it will be basket. So I think it should be route basket. Yes. How could I know the route is basket? Well, I can go to my navigation bar. In navigation bar, you have slash basket, as you can see. Voila. Problem solved. Now, if I go here, before when I go to my basket, it show me nothing. Of course, now if I click on this one sheet, it show me my basket at least, which is text. Of course, we need to handle it now. So profile, it's working. Add item, it's working. Everything is fine. And we need to now to handle the basket. And when we handle the basket, calculate the total price and stuff like that. Then we will need to implement the payment and the project should be over. Is the idea clear? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go here. Click and let's go to my basket. So now in my basket, what do I want to do? Well, in my basket, I want somehow, after I go to my basket, I need to grab all the user items. So I will send a request to the backend to grab all the user item. And then what I'm going to do here, I need to render them. I need to show them. So I will grab all the item. I need to show them somehow. I need to show their price, description, and also I need to calculate the total price because the total price is very important. So it's obvious that here I will need to send a request to the backend. So if I want to send a request to the backend, and I will need some piece of state, of course. So I need to import a few stuff. What are these stuff? Use
State and effect.
Yeah, use state and use effect because I'm gonna do this one only when the component is being mounted, not when I'm clicking on button or something. So I will need to use effect. Also, I will need Axios. From Axios, maybe what I can do also, I can implement the loading. So what I can do here, I can just import loading. I already have loading from loading. Maybe I will need it. For now, let's just keep it this way. If I need something else, I can import it here. Okay, fine. So let's go to our component here. And I need few pieces of state. First, I need the item, which will be the user item I'm trying to grab. I'll not name it basket, I'll name it items. So item set item, of course, as you know, the item, it will be by default an empty array. Why? Because I'm trying to grab multiple items. And when I'm trying to grab multiple items, I'm using find in the backend, and find in the backend, it will return me an array. That's the first one. The second one, I need to handle the loading. So I need to say const loading, set loading. And what I can do here, I need to make this lowercase, this loading, because that we use it normally. Here, I will make it false, not true. And also, if I have an error message, I should show it. So maybe it will be a good idea also to create an error message. So it will be error, set error, voila. And what I'm going to do now also, I'm going to add something called total price. So what is this total price? Well, the total price here, it's just gonna calculate the total price. So calculate the total because I want to just show the total price underneath. So I can handle it. So total here, we'll just name it total, say total. That I'm expecting that I need those. After that, if I need more, I can implement them. If I don't need more, we will see. So that's fine. Now, what do I need to do? Of course, now I need to use effect. Why do I need to use effect? Because I need to send a request to the backend to get all the item belong to this user. And of course, here I will need simply a user ID. So I'll need the user ID because I need to grab all the item belong to one user. So if I go inside my function here, I can use try and catch. Just no, before try and catch, actually, I can create a function. So you can just say const get user items like that, which will be async function, as you know. Voila. And here I can just call this function for now. Now inside this function, I will just say const ID. It will be equal to session storage.id. So I'm grabbing the user ID first, then I'm gonna say try and catch. And in case I have an error, well, I will log the error first. So I can just say console dot not dot log dot error is better. Error. And also, because I have piece of state for the error, I can now add the message here. So I can just make it as a error dot message, which is okay as well, or I can pass my own message. I've handled this catch flow, which should be simple. Now, what we need to do, we need to add the other situation, which is a const response, which will be equal to await. We are trying to get, right? So axios.get, and here, of course, this URL is not correct. And here, I think we need with credential true. With credential true. Voila. Fine. What is the correct URL? Well, it's import, as you know, import dot meta dot env dot vite. I think it was vite, something like that. Vite API URL, right? API URL, if I'm not mistaken. Just to make sure, yes, it's vite API URL. Let's go back to our basket. I'm gonna replace it just to make sure I did not make any mistake. After that, it should be items, and then after that, it will be user. Then it will be user ID. But where is user ID? What is user ID?
In session storage.
No, that's it here. It's ID. ID, but I'm not sure about the route. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on this one, go to my backend. Let me check my. Okay, my headset. I need to change because it will be better. You still can hear me, guys, right?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm going now to my backend. I will go to items here. And now when I'm getting the item belong to one user, it's items / user / ID, which is great. So now here like that, I will grab all the item belong to this user. And yeah, after I grab this item, I need to set my item, as you know. So let's go here and I can just say if ris.status it's 200, what should I do? If it's 200, what should I do? Is my items, what should I do? I need to set my item, right? I need to set my item. So the item here, because now what I'm doing here, I'm sending this request to get the item. So I need to set the item to res.data, and res.data, it will be an array which include all the item here. Well, that's nice. What else? Do I need something else? No, but I forgot to implement the loading. So what I can do here, I can just say set loading. It's called set loading. Yes, set loading to true. And here I can add finally. Finally, I'm gonna set loading to false, and that should be enough for us. Voila. So that's simply what we should do now. Yeah, we're just trying to grab all our items, as you can see. And yeah, that's simply like that. But I want also to work with the total here. So my idea here is, how can I hand the total? How could I know what is the total price?
Well, to handle the total, if you remember, we have a util function for that. So if I go say calculate total. So what's calculate total here? It will accept an array of items, then it's gonna use reduce. Then go inside each item, it will find the price, it will multiply it by the quantity, and then it will add it for each item. So I already have a function for that. So what I can do here, I can just copy this one and now go here, and now I need to import this util function, and I can just import calculate total. It will from util.calculate total, as you know. And now all I have to do now to calculate the total, I can just come here and I say set total. And here I can say calculate total, and I can pass restore data. So what's happening here now, my item is being updated. Good. Also, I've calculated the total price for all the product, and I added to this piece of state, which is total. Is it now all? That's all I need to do for now, nothing more. Is the idea clear now? Is it clear so far what we are doing or not? Yes, no? Hello? Else we will fail to get item, and then we close this one. Is the idea clear what we are trying to do here or not? It's just yes or no.
Yes. For
Yes.
me, it's yes.
So we're grabbing our item, and when we're grabbing our item here, I need to update this piece of state, because that's why I create this piece of state. But also I need total price. So total price, I created a util function for that, which will go through all the item, grabs the price, grabs the quantity, multiplies them for each of them, and then adds them together. And here I just put it in this piece of state. So I will just say set total, because I need to set the total. Then I'm going to call my util function and then pass res.data. And here it will be calculated, and the number I am getting, it will be set to set total. And that's exactly what I want to. That's fine for now. Now let's try now to go and handle this one. Now first I need to add a class. I don't remember what the class was. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just try. So it will be basket. So add a class here, class basket. So what should I do in the basket now? Well, first I need to handle the loading. Now remember, the loading here, it will be conditional, as you know. So I can just say loading. If there is loading, that means if the loading is true. No, that's not what I want. Just loading and loading. So if there is loading, it will handle it. If it's true, if it's not true, it will handle it as false. I want to remove this message as well. I need to make it an empty string. Voila, that's the first one. We handle the loading. We don't want to handle only the loading. We also need to handle the error message, as you know. So let me handle the error message. It's like that. So to handle the error message, I can just say simply if error, and I'm gonna show. We're gonna create a div with class error. And voila, I've handled the error as well. So now I'm handling both of them, as you can see. Nice, but I did not handle the item yet. So as you can see, I have my item. So what I need to do now, simply, I need to loop through the item. And for each item here, I need to create, I need to map through them. And for each one, I need to create a component which is called item, which I don't have yet, which I need to create. So the easiest way, it will be what I can, between this one and this one here, I can check first now. I can say if item dot length, if it's greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, I need to show something. But if it's less than 0, if it's 0, that means I don't have any item. So what I can do, I can just show a message and say, for example, no item exists, simply like that. No item exists in the basket. So for this one here, it should be simple. All I have to do is I'm handling the error first. If the item length is 0, that means I have no item. I can just now create a div, and this div here, I can just say no item exists. So let's try to do this one first. So I can just say div, and here I can add a class to it. Just yes, that's it. Class, actually it's class name. So the class name here, it should be, let's name it no item, for example, no dash item. And in here, I can write my message, any message I want to. And it, as a class is no item, which is great. So here, let's say no item found or exist or something like that, whatever you want. Now that's which is the case if the length is 0. But what if the length is not 0? Well, if the length is not 0, I'm going to create a div. I'm going to create a div here. And now inside this div, now I'm going to map through all these items. So I can just say now items dot map. And as you know, map is higher order method. So I will have one single item. Now for each item, what do I need to do? Well, what I need to do here, actually, I need to render it. I need to render it as item component. So I will have an item component, which I did not create yet. So here it will be item like that. And I'll make a self-closing tag like that. Of course, here it's complaining, it's telling me where is your key, because as I told you in React, every time we try to map or look through a list, we need to add a key. And also it's telling me you are not using the item. So let's first handle the key. To handle the key, I can just say key, it's equal. What is the unique in item? What is the unique in item?
ID.
Underscore ID, yes. So it will be underscore ID. And here I can pass my item data here as an item. I don't need to pass anything else. Now all the error is gone. It's just telling me you don't have component item. Yes, it's fine because I did not create it yet. And also it's telling me you are not using total. We will show now, we will see how we can use a total. So let me create just a dummy component item. So it will not complain. Item.jsx. I already have the CSS for item. So I can create my dummy component like that. And yes, I will need a prop type because I am expecting to have item, right? I am passing item as a prop. Yes, no? Let's go
Yes.
to the basket. As you can see, I am passing item as a prop here. So now I need to import my item here. So let's just import. If I know how to item from item. And now here, this guy is gone. So problem is gone. I mean, yes, we're not doing anything in our item, but the problem is gone here. If I go to my basket, see, it's try to load, but it's not actually loading perfectly. So it's try to load. And after it's loading, now I have item, item, item. So actually I have 4 items. As you can see, there's 10 because there's some of them is being repeated, so the quantity is more. But I'm currently not doing anything in my component. After that, I will show them. That's fine. Okay, now I'm not showing the total price. How can I show the total price? Well, it's quite simple. All I have to do here, I can just say total price here if I want to show. No, it's okay. I can just show the total. So let me create a div. I'm not sure if total has any class or not. Yes, it has a class called total. So class total. And all I have to do, and now I need to render my total number here, which should be here. Voila. Click. If I go here, see, actually I have total. That's my total, 384. So total is working. But what should I add to total? What should I add to total? $sign or euro sign, as you know. Voila, and here it's the number. Let's go now. After we are showing our total, we are showing our item here. We need now to handle our item and make them quite nice. So yeah, that's simply how it is. So let's go to the item. Where is my item? Where is my item? It's here. Now inside my item, what should I do? Well, I am not sure also from the class. So let me open my CSS here. So first I need to import my CSS. So let me import my CSS. Item.css. Of course, that's not gonna work because I need /. And after that, I have my item here. I can add my item here. It is an object, I know, but I want the shape. And here I can add different item. What was the item consist of? Well, I have an ID, yes. I don't have name, that's not correct. I have title, right? Title. Oh, come on. Title like that. ID, I have it. I'm not sure I'm gonna use it or not, but anyway. I don't think I'm gonna use the ID. I need title, I need description. description. What else? A title description.
Category, price,
I'm sorry.
category, price.
Yes, category. And also I have price. And I think I had something else if I'm not mistaken.
Quantity.
Quantity indeed. Quantity, but quantity is not correct. I should be fine. I just need to handle a little bit these guys to show them. So how can I do this? Well, let's add a class here. The class is item, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go inside this one. What should I show? So maybe I can show here. I can, yeah, let's try to do that. I have title, but instead of this one, I'm gonna replace all of that with H2. I'm gonna make all of those. I don't want all of those actually like that. I'm gonna make them p tag. So description here, and then here category, and then here I need price, of course. Item dot price, which is shows the price here. Quantity, maybe I can show the quantity as well. I'll make all of them p tag, and after that, if I need anything, I can change it. Click here, and voila, as you can see. So now here I have my Samsung Galaxy S23. I have there's a title, there's a description, there's a category, and there's a price $19. Here's a quantity here, which is 6. Of course, it's a bit ugly. So what I can do here, I can just go to item. Am I displaying it flex? Yes, but here let's make it column. Flex direction. Column. Let's see if that, yeah, it's fine now, as you can see. And voila. So here I have 19 is the price. There are 6. If you multiply, you can do the calculation, by the way. 19, maybe we can do it here actually. 19 multiplied by 6 plus 23.
No, 46, because you have quantity too.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm trying just to do the calculation. That's fine. What else? We have 201 only. No, here's not multiply. Here's plus. Plus 200. Plus what else we have here?
24.
The result 384. As you can see, everything is correct. So we are showing our item. Of course, you can style them the way you want to make it as nice as possible, as beautiful as it is. It's fine. The idea here is everything is fine. Everything is nice. And I'm calculating the total price. Now, what I need to do here after I'm done this one, have product, have this one. What I need to do, I need to show a button which is called delete item. So the user should be able also to delete or remove the item from his basket. That's first. Second, I should have a button here which will be pay. So it will be pay, for example, this number which is total 384. And when the user click on this one, I should now make a connection to Stripe and try to make this payment. So let's first add these 2 buttons, and after that we'll see what we can do. Let's click on that. Yeah. So that's my item. I will need a button. So maybe what I can do here actually, I can cut those, put them inside the div like that. And I can now create another div. It will be for my button. Div like that. I'm not going to implement edit. I'm just going to implement delete. And I think the class was delete button, if I'm not mistaken. Delete dash button. Yeah, it's not perfect. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to style these 2 guys and make this button functional. Yeah, so what was the styling? Let me go here. Item, delete button, that's correct. That's my item in here. So what I need to do here, I just need to now just remove this one, flex direction column. It will be by default because it's by default row. And if I do so, as we can see, we have something nicer. If I click on this one, there's a loader, as you can see, and then it's loading my item. Of course, the button now is not functional. I need to make this button functional. So how can I make this button functional? Any idea? Well, it's click. Well, I need to add an event to the button. What is the event? On click.
Handler.
Yeah, so it will be on click. So let me just add the event here. I can just say on click. And here I can just say click handler. Of course, you can give better name for your function. Click handler. And click handler, I can just copy this one. And now I can come here. Voila. And it should be const, of course. And it will be async function. Why? Why it will be async function?
Because we're dealing with database.
Yes, because we need to send a request to the backend to delete this item, as you know. Okay. Again, I think for the item is just slash item slash the ID to delete, so should be fine. Yeah, well, let's just try to do it. We need to use try and catch. And in case I have an error, I'm just gonna log the error here because I'm not using any piece of state to do the error here. So I can just say error. I hope that's correct. Yes. I'm just logging the error for me in case there is errors. Now I can just say const response. It's equal to await. Axios, do I have Axios? No, now I have it. Axios.delete, and here in delete, I need to pass two stuff. I need to pass the URL, which will be actually, that's correct. It will be import meta.env API URL slash item, and that's the item ID, item dot underscore ID. I think this guy, it will complain. So let's add an ID here so this guy does not complain. Okay, fine. And here I need to pass with credential true. And that should be okay, actually. And now here, what we need to do here, we can just check if res.status is 200. And of course, we need to reload the page. Why? Because when I click on this one, an item being deleted, if I reload, it will show me the updated version. If I don't reload it, it will stay as it is. So let's refresh here. And yeah, I think that should be enough. Actually, we don't need to add anything more. But let's try to delete this guy, Sony. If I delete, and now as you can see, everything is being updated here. The price is being updated. Everything is being updated. If I click delete and I don't want this one, now it was 360, now 200 will go on. So it will be 160. Click, and now I have 160, and voila. And that's how we delete an item.
And can we edit the quantity?
Can we?
Edit the quantity.
Yes, you can do that. So what you can do here, you can show, for example, a quantity as a number, and then you can say increment or decrement. So you can add this functionality to it if you want to.
Okay.
It's not really difficult. It's the same idea here. So when the user grab a number, you can grab it and then update the item, just like we did before.
Okay.
Yeah. Now what we need to do, we need to implement payment, and after that should be okay. So how can we implement the payment? I will just
maybe before we started, we can make a pause. It's 10.
Yes, we will do, but I just want to show you the buttons. That's all I need now. So what I want now, I'm going to show you the button here, which will say pay, and then we will make a pause. So it should be very simple. Now in the basket here, what I'm going to do here, I will show this, but so I'm showing this button, this total. Now I just need to show you a button as well. So I can create a div here, and here I can just say button, and I will not name it checkout. I will name it pay. And here pay, I need to say pay, and I need the total. How can I grab the total? How can I grab the total? Well, the total is number, right? It's piece of state, so I'm gonna just pay it this way. If I go here, voila, as you can see. I need to make some space between this one and this one. As you can see, they are a little bit annoying here, so I can go to total. Total, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where's my total? I can just say margin button. Pay container. So let's say margin button, let's just make it 20 pixel. Margin top here, let's also make it 20 pixel. Let's go here, see it is now a little bit better, as you can see. So everything is being implemented now. I have this bottom, and now all we need to do, we need to implement the payment, and we should be done with the project. Let's take a short break, 20 minutes, and then we'll come back.
So what do we need to do now? Well, what we need to do now, we need to implement the payment, which is here. So what I can do now, I can go to my basket, and inside my basket now I need to import a few stuff. If you go to the libraries, they will show you how to integrate Stripe with React. The way they are doing it here, at least, is excuse is here. So first, I need to import something called element from Stripe, React Stripe, and load Stripe. I need to import. So we need to install two packages first. If I go here, this package is called Stripe/React Stripe JS and Stripe/Stripe-JS. After we install these two packages, now I need to import a few stuff. So let me import it here. I can just import what we called element or elements, like that. Elements is element, elements. So I need to import elements from Stripe /React Stripe JS, and also I need to import load Stripe. So load Stripe, it will make the connection between our Stripe and our React application. So after that, I can come here and I can declare a variable in here at this point, and I can just say const Stripe or Stripe promise. And here I need to load the API key, and the API key, of course, it does exist. How can I get my API key? My API key is here. How can I get it?
Import.
Yes, sure. Let's do import .meta .env. I don't know if that's what you call, but let me with Stripe public key. So that's how we make a connection. We need to load Stripe. As you can see, the first step here, I need to import two elements, one of them from Stripe, React Stripe, and the second one from Stripe. After that, I need to make like a Stripe promise. So that's how we load. We make a connection between the front end and the public key of Stripe. As you know, Stripe has two keys. One of them is public and one of them is private. The private for the backend and the public, it will be for the front end. So as you can see, I'm just making a promise. That is variable Stripe connection or Stripe promise. It's equal to load. So Stripe give you here this method here and or this function here, and you need to import or you need to pass your Stripe public key. Well, after I do that now here, what I need to do, I need to go to I need to go to my piece of state. In my piece of state, I need to create another piece which is called client secret. So whenever the payment here, whenever the connection is being made, when I'm trying to make a connection to my Stripe here, it will give me something called client secret. And client secret is just like a long string to make sure that it's being connected correctly to Stripe. And this guy here, client secret, it must be valid. If it's not valid, I cannot show the payment. So in order to do so, I can just say closed. So we name it client secret, and says client secret. As a default value here, it will be an empty string. And now what I need to do here now, I need to go to my button. So what should I do here in my button? On this button here, it will be simply, let's go here. When we make a payment, that's my button here. The reality is we should not show this button all the time. So either we will show the form or the button. Because now when we click on the button here, it will make it. So let's go step by step actually. Let's go here and add this one, which is the on click, because when I click on it, I wanna try to make a payment. So here it will be on click, and I click here, it will be equal to, let's just name my function handle payment, for example, handle payment. We did it in the last project, it's the same idea exactly, handle payment, yeah. Now what I can do here, I can go to here, and now I can create my function which is called handle payment like that. Voila. So the idea here on this button, when I click on this button here, of course I need to trigger a function, and this function here, it will be handle payment. And other than that, this one here, if you go to the libraries, they will show you how to integrate it in React. So you need to import these two elements and load stripe, and then here in load stripe, you need to pass your API key and then save it in a variable. They call it stripe promise, so let's call it stripe promise. And now this value, it will be important. Now when we make, we try to connect to Stripe, now when we send a request now, it will return us something called client secret. This client secret must not be an empty string. If it's empty string, that means there's no connection. So we need to show the button here, which will say pay. But if it's not an empty string, that means we already trying to make a payment. So we should not choose a button, because if the button is available, the user can click on it again and try to make another payment. So let's first go to our function and see what we can do. Well, in our function, which is handle payment, now what we're trying to do, we will try to send a request to the backend. So we'll use try and catch. And here in the catch block, if we have any, do we have error message here? Yes, we have error message. So if I have an error, what should I do? I can console the error, and also I can set the message like that. Voila, because I have an error. So the set error here, it will be error.message. That's fine. Now let's try to make our connection or try to send a request to the backend. So we say const response, it's equal to await. And here it will be axios.post. I'm not sure if the method is post or not. But what we'll need here, we'll need the URL. And also we'll need something else. We will need the total price here, or the total amount. So it is import. That's correct. I think this one is absolutely, actually, this one is correct. And now what we need to do here, we need to pass the amount. But how can I pass the amount? Do we have the amount? Do we have the amount here? Total amount, do we have it or not?
Yes.
We already have it. So what I can do here, I can just say amount. And you cannot change this property, huh? This property is coming from, so amount, I'm passing amount to total. So this property is coming from Stripe, so we need to pass the amount, exactly. Amount, I'm passing my total with credential true. I need to make sure that the URL is correct, otherwise it will not work, of course. So let's go to payment. No, that's product payment. So payment, we have one route, it's /payment, as you can see. So yes, it's the base URL /payment, it's correct. It's a method is post. And I need to make with credential true, and I need to pass the total amount, which will be total. Well, that's fine. We're trying to do this one here. And now here, if status is 200, then we need to update. So when we are trying to send a request to the backend should return us something called the client secret. So it will be res.data.client secret. That's the backend is going to send us. And when the backend sends us, we need to update this value here, which is called client secret here. So let's see if that will work or not. And let's check out first our backend if we are getting back the client secret. So payment. Okay, trying to make a payment, yes. And as you can see here, what we are doing here, we are grabbing the amount. In the front end, we are passing the amount. As you can see, where is the amount? Where is the amount? We are passing the amount here. We are grabbing the amount, and then we try to make a payment. Of course, the amount, it will be in cent. It will not be in dollar or euro. It will be in cents. So that's the reason why I multiply it on the backend. That's fine. But what's important for me, if this request to the backend was successful, the backend send us something called client secret. And now in the front end, what we need to do, we need now, when we receive this one successfully, and status, it will be, of course, 200. We are not making any status, so let's make a status 200. Voila. So now status 200, then what we're going to do here, we need to update client secret because we will receive this value from the backend, as you can see, if it was successful, of course. So let's try for now what we can do. We can just log here. After we updated, let's just try to log it here to see if we are receiving the client secret or not. Or maybe we can just put it here, it's fine. So let's see, refresh. Let's click on this one. And as you can see, we are, where's my client secret? Let's just put this one here. Let's try to refresh, make a payment. And here status is how much? It's 200. Yeah, it's been successful. Let's go in here, but it's not client secret. Actually, it is, there is data. Where is it? It's not client secret, it's data. So we need to go to data, and inside the data, if I do this one like that, I have response. If I go inside data, then I have client secret, as you can see. And the client secret, as you can see, it's just a string, long string. It's coming back from the backend to tell us that the connection is being made successfully. So what I'm trying to do is actually wrong. It's not right. It's not actually, let's do data. So I need to copy this one. Voila. Voila. And now it should be okay. So the client secret is inside the response to data. And now here, if we try to make a payment, we will have our client secret. Click. Voila. And now here, that's my client secret. As you can see, it's very long string here. Now, when we receive the client secret, that means the connection is being made successfully. And after that, we need to show the user. So we make connection to Stripe. Everything is successful. Now we need to show him a form so he can add his credential, the card number and the expiry and stuff like that. And if everything is successful here, we will click on it and then it will make a payment. That should be okay. Now we updated our variables successfully. That's good. Not a problem here. We have no problem here. We have, if that's not correct, so if it's 200, yeah, if it's not correct, we just gonna fail to get client secret, something like that. Of course, the client secret, we need to get it. If we don't get it, that means there is no connection being made to Stripe. And now what I need to do, actually, I need to, depending on the client secret, so if the client secret has a value, I need now to show him a form. Why is this form? Why do I need the form? Can anyone tell me why do I need the form? So if I have a client secret here, if I have a value, by default is empty string, as you know, falsy. So if I don't have this one, I show him the button. But if I have a client secret, why do I need to send the form? Any idea? You are with me, guys, or you're sleeping?
For bank details?
Yeah, I mean, if I have a client secret, that means I have a good connection. My backend is connected to Stripe. Everything is ready. Now I need to show him a form so he can add his credential, credit card, stuff like that, and so on. So now what I'm going to do here, depending on the client secret, I will show either this button. Where is it? Either I'm going to show him this button, or I need to show him a form. So what is the form? I did not create the form yet. I need to create a form. So let's go here. And now what we can do here, we can just simply render this button conditionally. How? I'll show you how. So let me just grab all of that, cut it. And now here what I can do, if I have a client secret, as you can see, I'm going to render something. But if I don't have a client secret, I need to render something else, simply like that. Because the clients, if I have the client secret, that means I make a request to the backend and I receive everything. So if I don't have a client secret, I'm going to render my button. Everything should be fine. Yeah, but what the hell is going on here? What happened? What I'm missing? Let's try to render it again so we don't make any mistake like that. Do that. So if I do not have this one, I can just render a div. Wait. I can render a div. My div has a class on it? No, it does not have any class on it. And then I have a button, and this button will be, it's giving me an error because I did not handle the first situation. Voila. That should be here. That's fine. Now we need to handle the first situation. Now, in the first situation, if I have a client secret, so if I have a client secret, well, I can render a component, and this component here, we can name it whatever we want to, but we will name it checkout form like that, and that should be okay. If I don't have any mistake here, I do have a mistake. I did not close my. Okay, now it should be fine. Voila. So what's going on? Well, if I click on the button, when I have no connection, so I have nothing from the backend, that means I still did not make connection to Stripe. So I will have this button. When I click on this button, this function will be triggered, and it will send a request to the backend with a total amount, and then I will get a client secret. When I have a client secret, I need to render a form. And this form here, it will include simply some information, which client secret I will have. Actually, I don't need client secret. I'm not sure if I need this one. I don't need it for now anyway. So the idea, I am passing just the total price which I want to pay, and so also the client secret. The problem is I don't have checkout form or charge form or whatever you want to call it here. So we wanted to name it charge form. It's fine. Name it charge form. Do I have this one? Do I have it?
Not yet.
So let's create it. Let's name it checkout form. It will be better actually. Checkout form. So what I can do, I can copy it now. I can click on this one, and now here I can create my checkout form.js, and probably I'll need CSS for it. CSS like that, and voila. Now here for checkout form, I will just add a dummy component for now. And remember, I will need a props because I'm passing some props actually. What's the props here? Let me go to my basket. I am passing a client secret and total. So is it voila client secret and total like that. Of course, client secret, as you know, it's a string, right? So it's string, and the total here, it will be a number simply. And that should be okay for now. Let's just try to import our checkout form so we don't have any error here. So we will go to here, and we can just import our checkout form. Voila. And now here the problem is gone at least. Yeah, I think so. Well, it's quite simple then. If I have a client secret, I'm going to show the form. If I don't have client secret, I'm showing the bottom, so we can have a client secret simply like that. Okay, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Okay, but still I need to wrap everything. I forgot to wrap everything around. That's not gonna work actually. I'm still forgetting something important. Can anyone tell me what is this important thing? What did I forget here? Well, if you go to the library again here, what you need to do when you are trying to make a payment, you need to wrap all your application with elements here. This component, which is called element, which we imported. And this element accept one props, and this prop is called stripe. I need to pass my stripe a promise here, or just stripe. Let's just name it stripe here. So what should I do here to make the payment? Well, I need to cut all my application here, cut everything. And now what I need to do here, I need to render my elements like that. And as you can see, element by default, it take a property here or a prop called stripe. And now here I will make it a closing and opening tag. Why? Because I'll need to, let me just close it, element like that. And now I will put all my application here. That's how the library works. So what I need to do, I need to wrap everything here with this element, and here is take one property called stripe here. And so my stripe here actually, which will be when I'm trying to load stripe and pass as a public key. Well, that's okay. Now what I need to do, I just need to create my form, and my form, it will be for handling the user credit card number and stuff like that. So let's go here and see what can we do here in this form. So in this form here, as you can see, we are receiving client secret, we are receiving total. I will need to import a few stuff here again. That was the library require actually. So first I need to import, I think I will need a few stuff here. I think I need to just to import use state for an error if I encounter any error. So I'm gonna import use state, like that. And after that, prop type, I have them. Now I need to import a few stuff from React Stripe. And what are those? So I need to import first something called use Stripe, and use Stripe, use element, and card element. So I need to import all of those three. They are component, all of them, card element, use Stripe, use element from Stripe React, Stripe. Okay, after I import all of that here, now in my checkout form, what do I need to do? In my form here, I need to somehow initialize Stripe. I need to initialize Stripe here. To initialize Stripe is just like using it. I need to say use Stripe, and I need to save it in a variable. For the element, it will be the same. So both of those are hooks, by the way. So this one is hook and this one is hook, is provided by Stripe, and I need to execute both of them. So in order to do so, I can just say const Stripe like that, which will be equal to use Stripe. Also const element, which is use element. And now here I can make my piece of state, which will be error set error. And the error here, I'll make it an empty string, just like that. Voila. Okay, what should I do now? Well, my form should be very simple. So what I need to do here, instead of this div, I need to create a form, because my idea here, I'm trying to submit the user data. So actually, let me create a div just for this one. And after that, now I can create my form like that. Inside the form here, I will have a few different elements. So I've created this one here. I'm gonna render the card element here. The card element here, it will give me the default data here for the user card. And after that, I will have a button. And the bottom here is that when the user add his data and try to make a payment. And of course, I need to handle the error as well. So let's add a class here. I know there are too much information, but again, that's coming from the library. That's how it works. I did not create the library. That's how it is. Okay, so I have my form. Okay, I don't have my, where's my div? Well, I have my div, but I am missing something. What the hell is going on here? Yep, let's not close this one. What's the problem is my phone? Can you see any problem? Element, payments, that's a button, error message. Well, I don't see anything actually. What was the problem? I don't know what's the problem, but anyway. So here I will just say class. I will add a class, and the class here, it will be just error. So simply I am showing my card element, and my card element will be responsible to handle, or so the user can add his IBAN or credit number expiring and stuff like that, and after have the bottom. Of course, now what we need to do here, we need to, just like we did in the form here, I need to add on submit, and on submit, I need to create a function to handle this situation. So my bottom, I don't like it. I think I need, so first the type here must be submit, because I am inside the form. And here, what I need to do, I will disable it. Not make it payment here. Let's just say confirm payment. Confirm payment. Now, this bottom, when should be available? Well, this bottom should be available if this stripe here, if it is valid, because the stripe is here, we are trying to use stripe, so it will return me a value here. And this value here, if it's null, I should not show the confirm button. So that should not be null at all. And the second one, the client secret here. The client secret should be a value. If there is no value, I should not show this button. So how can I handle this situation? Well, what I can do here, simply I can just say disabled. And here in disabled, when I'm going to disable this button, well, I'm going to disable this button in two conditions. Here, if there is no stripe, or the total is 0, actually, all this should be okay. So I need to remove this one, and that should be okay. So this button, it will be disabled if I don't have this value stripe, or if I don't have the client secret, which is not the element actually. Voila. If the client secret is not available, if it's falsy, or if the total is 0. So if the total is 0, I should not show also this button here. And simply that's it. Now, what do I need to do? Well, what I need to do here now, I need to, on my form here, I need to create a function to handle submit form. So I can just say on submit. And here, let's just name it handle submit. And handle submit, of course, now I need to create a function. This function, it will be a async function. Voila. And also it will receive the event. Until now, is there any problem here? Except, of course, these hooks from React Router DOM, that's how the library works. Cart element, it just show you the cart here. It's just a component to show you the cart. Any question here? Any question? Is there any question here?
No.
Question. Again, so I'll repeat it again. Now I need to create my form. Why do I need to create my form? Well, because I want to first allow the user to enter his credential. And then here I can just click on the button, which is called confirm payment. Now, the idea with this confirm payment, this button here, it must be active sometime and it must be disabled, not active sometime. What do I mean by that? Well, if the total is 0, it doesn't make sense to make a payment here. Or if there is no client secret, that means I did not connect to my backend successfully. Or if there is no stripe here, so stripe, use stripe, this hook here should have a specific value. So when I'm using stripe here, it should return me an object here with some property actually. If I don't have this use stripe, if it return null, I'm not allowed to make a payment. It's just not gonna work. And I'm just showing here my error simply like that. Then I'm just having handle submit, which will be my function, which I will try to handle this confirmation or payment confirmation. Of course, as you can see here, you can disable the button. The button will be disabled in 3 cases. If this stripe, its value is null, see, if it's null, so it will be not allowed to make a confirm payment. If the client secret is null, and here I'm saying, because if it's a string here, if not empty string, if it's string, and it will be trucy, not trucy, it will be falsy. So yeah, so if it's empty string, it will be falsy, not falsy, it will be true, and so on, so it will be disabled. And or if the total is 0, if the total is 0, doesn't make sense to make any payment. Is the idea clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
It's a simple question, huh? Okay. Fine, so now what do I need to do here in my form? The first step, what should I do? I have the event, what is the first step I should do?
Prevent default.
Prevent default, because simply, as you can see, I have a bottom type submit, I'm inside the form, and if I did not prevent the default, it will just try to submit everything directly to the backend. That's not what I want to. So you can just say event.prevent default. That's first. Default is not correct. Voila. And now after that, I will check if there is no stripe or if there is no element here, I should just update my error here. So these elements here, they are super important. This element, actually, I should add even the element here. So if no elements here. Voila. So it's now before condition actually. The client secret must exist, the elements here must exist, the stripe must exist. So whenever I'm using this hook here, it will return me a value. This value must not be null. If there are nulls, that means I am not allowed. I'm not allowed to make a connection to my backend here, and the payment will not be successful. Okay, fine. So the first step here, I will need to check, which is if no stripe or no element, I'm not going to return. I'm going to just update my message here, which will be set error stripe is not loaded. And here I can return. So again, if one of these guys, either stripe or the element is, I mean, if they are not exist, if this value is null, that means stripe is not loaded correctly. That means there is no connection really being made to the backend, which means that you cannot make a payment. If that's not returned because I want to exit the function. Now, what I need to do here, I will try to grab my card, which will be the card element here. And after that, I will say if there is no card also, I will just say payment element is not available. It's just some condition here. So now what I'm going to do here, I can just say const. What did we name it? Card element? Yeah. So card element, which would be my element here, dot get element. So this element here, hook, which will allow you to get this specific element we are trying to do. And we are trying to grab this value, which is card element. Now, if the card element it does not exist, that means the user is not able to add his credential. Well, that means simply I need to show an error. So I can just say if no card element, then I will set error card element is not found. I will return as well. So a few conditions here just to make sure that the stripe is being loaded correctly, the element card is being, or it will be found in the DOM correctly. So I will be after that now to make my payment here. Is that okay so far? So two simple conditions. This element, this stripe here, it must not be null. If it's null, that means stripe is not being loaded. That means I cannot make a payment. And the element here, this element hook, it's allow you to access any element in the DOM here is being created by Stripe. One of them is card element. And here, as you can see, I'm just saying element.get element card element. If the card element does not exist, of course, you cannot make a payment. Now, all I need to do, try and catch. So try and catch. And the try and catch, of course, if I have any error here, what I need to do, I can just show some error. So set error to error.message, for example, and now I can even log the error if I want to. So let's just say console.error. Voilà. But if I don't have any error, so what should I do? Well, now what I need to do here, I can grab a few value from stripe.confirm. So a stripe, it will, this stripe here, this value, if it's not null, of course, it will be an object, as I told you, and this object here, it has some method on it, and this method is just to confirm payment. And this confirm payment, I need to pass some value, which will be the client secret, which is very important. And here's the payment method. Also, I need to add it as a data. So what type of payment method I'm trying to make. And here it will return me either true or so. If it's successful, that's great. If I have an error, I'm going to show the error, and that's it. So yeah, let's just try to do it here. So what I can do, I can just say const response. It's equal to await. And here I need to use stripe, as you know, stripe. And if I say dot, so here we have a lot of methods, as you can see. One of them is just confirm card payment, because I'm trying just to do it with card. But there's a lot of methods being allowed here, because there is no one payment, one way to make a payment. There's multiple ways to make a payment. For us, we will go just with the simplest one, which is card. So I think the method was confirm card payment. And if I confirm card payment, I need now to pass two values. The first value I need to pass, which is the client secret, and the client secret, I'm getting it as a prop. And the second value here I need to pass, it must be the card here, so the method here, the payment method. So what I can do here, I can just pass an object here. And inside this object, now I can make as a payment method. And my payment method, simply, it will be card. It will be card here, card element. And then that's a card element. So that's the method I am trying to use. And now here, of course, I need to check. If there is an error, I'm going to show the error. Else, I can just do something else. So I can just say if error, but I did not grab the error from here. Actually, I can grab two stuff from here. let me just do, because what's the response? Let me show the response. Let me just log the response so we can see the response, and after that, I can show you what's going on. Okay, let's go to our website now, see what will go on. If I make a payment here, so as you can see, it show me my card here. Why? Because simply my client secret is correct here. And I have my button confirm payment, as you can see. So the card number here, well, I don't know, I don't have any card number. So I need to go to Stripe now, the website, Stripe. Let's just say test cards, something like that. So if I click on this one, I think it gave me a lot of cards. The card we used last time, it was this one, right? It was 444. It's this one, if I am not mistaken. So let me go in. Where's my application? Let's go here. I'm gonna add the card number. And if I add the card number, it will tell me the expiry. And the expiry here, it's just adding 1234. It's for testing, so fine. 1234. And I need CVC. CVC here is 567. So 567. Now with the zip here, it will ask you because this 4242 belong to the United States. So I need to find any zip code in the United States. Zip code in US. Of course, you can use whatever you want to. Doesn't matter really. Let's see if we have any. Yeah, we can just try with. Where's the zip code? Let's try this one. Let's see if that will work. And now simply you can just add. I will go with this one here. Now, as you can see, I've added everything here. I add my card number here, or sometime IPN. I've added the expiration date, CVC, and after that, zip. Zip will not ask you if you are using any card which is not in the United States. Now I can confirm payment. I will have two options here. Either I will get an error. If I get an error, I'm showing my error here in the form. If I don't get error, I don't think it will show me anything. I am logging something. So let's confirm payment. And voila, so no thanks. So when I confirm the payment, notice what will happen. Now inside this one, as you can see, I have payment intent. The amount is 1600. Why 1600? Because actually it's 160, but I'm multiplying it by 100 because it's in cent. So this amount in cent. If you need to remove 20, it's 160, which is correct. And what else? So it showed me a lot of information. The currency is USD, blah, 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 client secret, all this information. And I have status, which is called succeed. So what I can do now, from the response, I can grab this value, which is called, so it will be risk.payment-intent.status. If it succeeded, then now I can redirect, for example, to slash here. And I will need to empty all the elements which belong to this user. That's it. If there's an error, of course, it will show me the error here. Is the idea clear? Yes, no? So this is the response here. I can actually destructure it directly. And here I can just take payment intent. And I think I will have, in case there's error, encounter an error, I will have an error like that. If I have any error. And now here, what I can check here, I can just say if there is an error, then I'm gonna set up my error like that. If there is no error, so what should I do? Well, and I just need to redirect to slash for now. So let's redirect to, so I can just say if it was payment intent dot what? There was a value here. So payment intent dot what? Dot succeeded. So I'm gonna take this value, payment intent, but what was the value? Status. So if payment intent dot status is equal to succeeded, then here I can now redirect to slash. But of course I cannot redirect to slash. What do I need to redirect to slash? What do I need to redirect to slash?
Use navigate.
Yes, so I need to use navigate. And here also I need to, because it's simply also it's a hook. So I can just say const navigate is equal to use navigate. And now here I can just say navigate to not succeed. You can create different pages for succeeded or failed or stuff like that, but I will go to slash like that. And now let's refresh and see what will happen here. Click on that, click, try to make a payment, it's successful. That's my card number. I will enter any card number just like I did here. And now in this case, I will try to make some error, hopefully it will work. So I'm gonna add this guy. This is the expiry is 101, and let's make it 11, something like that. It's fine. I want it to be like that. So 567 zip code. Which zip code we used? It was 09. Maybe I should have chosen different card. Uh, 9,002. So let's see if that will work or not. Click. So as you can see here, I have a cannot read the property of undefined, read status. So I am encountering an error here. I cannot. Well, the reason why it's happening here, what I can do, I can just say copy. Wait. Intent, and I can just say and something like that. So I will not have this problem. And I'm not sure if the error was first, or it doesn't matter really, because I'm inside an object. So let's see if that will work again. And I'm just checking here if payment intent, if I have the values in, I'm checking the status, and then if the status is succeeded, then I'm gonna navigate. So let's try again. But why my error message is here? I don't want the error message to be here. I want the error message to be before the button. Here. Voila. Okay, much better. Let's try again. Click. Same idea. Every time I click, it will make connection to the backend, and now I can enter. Let's try to enter anything like that. I'm not sure if these numbers are even correct. If you hit tab, it will move to this one. Is 12, 10. Of course, it's telling you, as you can see here, the card is not valid. I mean, even if you try it, the card is not valid. 9,002. But let's make confirmation your card number is incompatible. So whenever you have an error, okay, as you can see, we are just showing this this error directly. But whenever we have something correct, like this card number here, do I have something for any other country? Visa, yes, but that's United States. I don't want that. Let's try with MasterCard, see if it will work. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete this guy. MasterCard here, any date in the future, so I will take 1234, something like that. And this one here, any three combination should work, and this one should work. So I don't know, confirm payment. And actually the confirm, so as you can see, the payment is being made and I'm redirected to slash, and that's really what I want to. So that means my code is working, but what I need to do now, I need to empty the user here. So this stuff here, because I make a payment, I need to remove them from the user basket. So how can I do that? Any idea? Any idea? Any idea? Before I redirect, what should I do? Are you sleeping, guys? Hello? Did you understand what's going on here or not?
Mostly.
Yeah, but mostly, again, this part, like, for example, use this hook, use stripe, use element here. I don't know them myself. I need to go to the library to see how it's being implemented. So because I did not create the library myself, they created the library, I need to use it. But my question for you, did you understand the logic?
Yes.
Did you understand what I'm trying to do? Okay. So now my question for you here, if the payment was successful, I want to empty all the element inside the user basket. Then I'm going to redirect to slash. Unsupported change on element. You cannot change the stripe prop after setting it. Don't worry about that. That's just warning coming from Stripe. It's okay. So how can I do that? Well, all I have to do here, before I navigate to slash, I can send a request to the backend to delete all the items belong to this user or all these items. So how can I do that? Any idea? Come on, guys. I'm giving you the logic. Send a request to the server to delete the item from the basket. Do I have any route to delete all the item or not? Well, let's check our backend. Let's go to our item. We have delete one only. Do we have any route which is delete all or something like that? What's the problem with you? Do we have any route?
We have to create a new route.
Yeah, we need to create a new route. That's it. So I need to create a new route like that. Router.delete. And here it will be item. Let's say slash user slash ID. And now here it will be the user ID. So verify token delete user item. I will name it delete. Like just like get user item, it will be delete user item. Delete user item. Just user, not users. Of course, you cannot delete the user item. You can save them or you can. So there is many ways. But for me, now what I want to delete the user item. So let's go here. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. And now what I want to do, I want to delete user item into, no, yes. I need to add this one. And now here I need to go to the controller, items, and I need to add it here. Voila. And now here, voila, simply like that. Of course, it will be async function, as you know. Voila. How can I get the user ID? How can I get the user ID? That's the user ID, by the way. How can I get the user ID?
Params.
Well, yes, so I can just say const user ID or user, whatever you want to name it. I will just name it ID. It's equal to request.param. Now, what I need to do, I need to just use try and catch. And here, if I have any error, well, I can just go to here, the error here. I can copy it in the same message. Voila. And now I can just paste it here. Well, if I don't have any error, now I'm trying to grab all the item, not one item, all the item. Or I'm sorry, I'm trying to delete all the item. So what I can do here, I can just say const deleted item, deleted items. I deleted not one item, it should be items. And now here I can just say await. And here I can use my module, which was item, right? Item.delete many. I can use delete many here, or I can just use delete. I think delete will work as well. No, and either I have delete one or delete many. So let's go to delete many. Okay, I am deleting with what? I'm deleting everything where the user underscore ID is equal to the ID. So every item belong to this user because all the item belong to this user is in his basket. So I'm trying to delete all the item belong to this user and it will after that delete it. Of course, here, as I told you, delete item and return an object. If the deleted count, just like here, if the deleted count is more than 0, that means the item being all the items being deleted successfully. If not, I will have status 400 and let's say items not found. Is this logic okay? I'm just creating a new route to delete user item. So let's try to use this guy here. So what I'm going to do now, after I created this guy, now I can go to my front end and I can go to, where's my basket? Yeah, it's not here. Check form. Okay, so what I need to do really here, I need to send a request now to, I will send a request to the backend here. and I'll try to delete all the item. And if it was successful, so restore status is 200. If it was successful, then I'm going to redirect to slash, and that should be simple. My function here, it's async function, so that's fine. I'll remove the navigate for now. So what I can do here, I can just say try. Well, I'm inside try and catch, but I can add another try if I want to. So I can just say try, and now here I can just say const response is equal to await, and here it will be Axios. Not sure if I have Axios or not. I don't have Axios. Let me import it. Yes. So it will be Axios.delete. And of course, here I'm trying to delete, and delete here, I think I need to add UB's credential true. Voila, and the route is not correct. Of course, I need to make it correct. So it will be $ import dot meta dot env dot vit underscore API underscore URL, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, what do I need to have? I need to have slash items, then slash user, and then slash ID. But where is the user ID? Do I have the user ID? Do I have the user ID? Can I grab the user ID from somewhere?
From session storage.
Of course. And here I can just log the errors. That should be fine. So I can grab the user ID from the session storage directly if I want to. And here I can just say session storage, or I can save it in a variable. It doesn't matter really. And here this key is not correct. It just need to be ID. Okay, what the hell is going on here? Because simply this one need to be backtick. Otherwise it will not work simply. Voila. So let's see what will happen now here. If, of course, it was successful, the status, it will be 200 like that. And here I can redirect to slash, not slash item. And if I have any error, I have error message here, so I can show my error message. For some reason, if something happened, voila. That should be okay. So let's try again. Refresh. And let's try to make a payment now, 160 euro or dollar. I need to grab my card again. So let's grab this one, it's fine. I'm gonna put my guy here, and it must be date in the future because it's for testing here. 567 should work. Zip code, it was 9002. Notice what will happen now if everything is okay. Click. Okay, no thank you, but why is so the element here, as you can see, it's been removed, but why the number is not correct? Okay, my element, all of them are removed. That's great. It's redirect to this one. It's working. But the only problem here, the number here is not correct. But why? Okay, after refresh now, it's working. Okay, so what I can do here, let's try to reload after we delete the item. So say Windows dot location dot reload, because if I don't reload, it will not allow me to, it will not update these numbers. So let's refresh again. Let's try to add any item. I have one item. Let's go here. Let's try to make this payment, pay. Of course, I have my card number, as you know. I will grab this one. Voila. Is this one, it must be date in the future, so 34, 567 should work. Zip code 9992. If you use a card not in the United States, notice, and voila, as you can see, it's been refreshed. And after that, actually, I don't even need to redirect it. When it's refreshed, I don't think this navigation is gonna work. So let's just keep it this way. Voila. And voila, simply like that. That's how the payment is being implemented. No, thank you. Refresh again. Let's go here. Let's add another item. I have one item. Let's just try to make our payment. Grab card. Do that. 1234 567, whatever. 9000. 2, and let's confirm. And voila, it's just gonna refresh and everything is being paid, and now the item is being deleted from my basket, simply like that. And that's what we want to actually. Yes? Yeah?
Yes.
It was difficult? No? Let's see if we have any Belgium here. It was difficult? Voila, that's in Belgium visa.
It's just new.
Yeah, it's new concept. Yes, Stripe, you need to go to the documentation of Stripe. So Stripe with React, integrate Stripe with React. Voila. So you have a reference here, and it will show you, see, it will show you what to install, and it will tell you need to import elements, you need to import load Stripe, and then here you need to wrap everything inside the element, as you can see. And you have Stripe, which will be equal to Stripe promise or just Stripe. And then you have checkout form. And then again, it will go to your checkout form. See, it's the same idea. Just implement what is in the documentation. So everything is implemented in the documentation, as you can see. Even the checks, it's the same. And I add maybe 1 or 2 more checks, but everything is in the documentation. Is the idea clear? Okay, what else do we need to implement before we finish with this one? Any question, anything you did not understand? Let's add an element here. Let's see if I can implement this one. I don't know if I have a lot of time. I have 15 minutes. Let me go to Amazon just to see how they are implementing it. Click. So the item here, yes, as you can see, it will show me one item. And here, if I click like that, it will reload and make it 3 item, 4 item. If I make it like that, it will refresh every time. Okay, so that should be simple. What I need to do now, I need to show the quantity here. Then I need to have 2 buttons. And these 2 buttons, every time I click on this one, it will send a request to the backend to update the item. We'll just update the quantity, nothing else. And if I click on this one, it will do the same, but the quantity here, it will be just negative. So let's try to implement this one. Click on that, click on that. It is in items, right? Should be in items. Where is it? Where's my items? Here's my items. So that's my button here. And now what I want to do here, let's create a div. No. Let's create a div. And inside this div here, what I'm going to do, I will have 2 buttons. Let's just say button 1. I'll do that, and here I will make a minus. Actually, if this one, it's fine. And the button 2 here, it will be plus. And here in between these 2 now, I'm gonna create a span. And this span here, or span or div, it doesn't matter really. But I need to show the quantity. What is that, a quantity? So here it will not be 0. It will be quantity here. Of course, it will be item.quantity. I go back now to my stuff. So yeah, it's not perfect yet. Sorry. I need to start a little bit. So currently I have 1 quantity as well. And when I click on this one, I need to send a request to the backend just to update this item. I will update the quantity. And if I click on this one, I will do the same, but just the number, it will be different. And you remember, when I update this one, I need to refresh the page. Why? Because this total amount need to be changed as well. So let's try to maybe add a little bit class here. And let's name it here update. bait-btn. And let's grab this one. Delete btn here. Let's just name it. Update that btn. I will add just some margin top. Margin top, not right. I'll make it just, yeah, 10 pixels should be fine. Maybe a little bit more. 20 pixel. And yes, and now here, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, that's a container. You know what I'm doing, right? Yes, no?
Yes, yes.
Good. So now I can just say display, flex, justify content center. And here, let's align the item vertically as well. Center and see if that will be, yeah, it's still a little bit fine. Now what I need to do here, I need to add just some space between these two guys. So what I can do here, what was the element I had? It was span, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's span, yeah. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just, I want you to go to the span, and I margin, I want it top and bottom, I want it to be 0. And right and left, I want it to be 10 pixels. And if I go here, now, as you can see, it's a little bit better. Not perfect, but a little bit better. So what we're going to do here, now when we click on this one or this one, we need to trigger a function. So enough styling. And here we need to have 2 functions in each. And yes, it's correct. And here I can just say on click. Click, it's equal to, what should we name it? Do we have any function here? We click handler as bad. Let's just name it increment. Here it's decrement, right? Decrement handler. I'll just name it decrement handler. That's it. So call decrement handler, and it must be a sync function. Why? Why it must be a sync function? And here, I'll just name it increment function. Why it must be a sync function?
We are dealing with database. Yeah.
Let's do the same here. Increment handler. Voila, such a good guy. Actually, it will be much easier here if I create a piece of state, I suppose. Why? Because if I have a piece of state here, which will be the quantity, and then every time I change it, I can just change the guy. Well, let's just make it simple. It's fine. So what I'm going to do now, of course, now when I'm decrement, I need to make the quantity -1, as you know. So I can just use try and catch. If I have an error, do I have error or handle? No, I don't have a handle error. So I'm just gonna cross it. That's fine for now. So what I'm going to do here, of course, as you know, I need now to grab all the item, whatever the item in. Yeah, actually here, as you can see. So I need to just do this one here. It's equal to await axios dot put. That should be the same. Yes, item dot underscore ID, which is good. And the quantity here, it will be just item dot quantity -1. If it's dot, oh, yes.
But it couldn't be a negative number. It couldn't be like 0 or higher than 0.
Yeah. So what we can do here, we can just put a small condition. If this one is less than 0, we will not execute the function. You got my point. And so we can just put here small condition here, and we can say if quantity here is less or equal to 0, then don't do a return. So here, if the quantity is 0 or something like that, return. And I can do the same for my first function like that. So I will not accept more than that. Voila. So if it's 0, we're directly gonna stop my function. If it's not 0, then I'm gonna do this one, and that should be okay. Now with the second function, it will be exactly the same. So I can just copy it. I can copy everything actually here. The only difference, it will be just add plus instead of minus. Voila, just like that. Voila.
In increments, do we need to return when it's 0 or we need to add?
I'm sorry?
Because in increment we are adding, so if the quantity is 0, why we are returning?
That's just a condition to make sure. Or it should never be 0 actually, but if quantity here is 0, maybe we don't need that.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Actually, we can make both function 1. But okay, let's try to do that now. Click. And now 2, as you can see. Click. 3, click. 4, click. 5, both there. Click, 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 click. Now it's 0. See, it's never gonna have, it's never go down 0. Okay? Because we are just returning. And now 1, 2, 3, 4. And voila, that's just like Amazon, as you can see. Now we can make these 2 function here. Now, because I don't have a lot of time, I just create 2 different function. Actually, we can make just 1 function. If we just have a piece of state here and we are updating the quantity each time is being changed, so we can just handle it with 1 function, but for now it's fine. And that simply is our project.
And also, like, if we have 0, it shouldn't be removed from the basket.
What do you mean?
Yeah, if here, if you go minus, 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 and it will be 0, so the whole item should be removed from the basket because it's quantity 0.
True, but the reason why this is happening, because what I need to do here, if it's 0, before I return, I need to refresh. So I need to say Windows dot location, because it doesn't know, then I can return. Let's try again. Refresh. Actually, it shouldn't be 0. Yeah.
But we can call delete function when it's 0.
No, when this one is 0, it should automatically not show that one. Because my yeah, but that's a quantity here. Just a second. Where is it? My item. So I've got my basket here. So what is the condition we are doing it here? We are just saying if the item dot length is greater than 0, or the quantity, yeah, it should show us this one actually. No item exists. Fine. Just a second. I will not allow him to go to 0. Just to solve this problem here, I will not allow him to go to beyond 1. So it was item, right?
But inside the basket, can we add just else statement? We have if, but if it's less equal to 0, it will happen something.
So if it's equal to 0, no.
Inside your basket, basket GS6, you have if, but you don't have else, and we can
Where?
add else. And if our basket equal to 0, we can
Where
close
is
it.
it?
Yeah, return. No, go up.
Mm.
Oh no, it's not here.
We are not checking. We are not in our basket. We are checking the number of the item. We are not really checking the quantity. So the easiest solution, it will be just if you go to the item and you go here, and we can just see if item dot quantity is
Yeah, it's
less
here. We
than.
have if, but we don't have else. We have only try and catch. But we can add else. If item quantity less than 0, then we can remove this item from the basket. Like else statement.
Yeah, I got it. Let's just make it simple. Just if the quantity is less than, okay, if the quantity is greater than 1, it should be greater than 1. Actually, it should be less or equal to 1. Then we're gonna reload, return, decrement. And yeah, let's try this one. Well, let's try this one here. Refresh. Now here, if I try this one here, see, it will not allow me to go beyond 1. So whatever I do, it will not allow me to go beyond 1. If you want to delete it, just click on delete and voila, it's finished. So it will be removed. But here, as you can see, the quantity will not allow me to go less than 1. It is not possible. So it will not allow me. And now if I want to delete the element, just click on this button and voila, it's been deleted.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay, let's go here. And I want this one to be 2, 3. I cannot go beyond 1, which is good. And as you can see, each time I click on this one, everything is being updated with the price and everything is perfect. Well, it's 12. I think now our project should be completed, the front end. It's not less than Amazon, by the way. It may seem simple project, but actually, I mean, if someone work on it really well and fix all the bug and make everything, it could be a really nice project. It's not less than Amazon, as I told you. And we just build it in 1 day or 2 days, but yeah, as you can see. Forgetting something important here, which is maybe I can add some space here because this one is ugly. We still have a few minutes, maybe I can add this one. So we call it product, if I'm not mistaken. Product. And now here, if I go to product, so let's go to product. And a single product here, maybe I can give it a padding top and bottom. So let's just give it a padding top and bottom, just 20 pixel, and right and left 0 pixel. We don't care about that a lot. Now let's see. And as you can see, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, no, because I did not really. That should be 0, that should be 20. So top and bottom should be 20, and this one should be 0. And voila, as you can see, much better like that. Any question? Yeah.
We will see. So far, no questions.
Yeah, but you have the recording.
Mhm.
If you have any question, you can tell me.